all your seatbelts, connections, touch your horns. Favor, just touch all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your horns. Just make sure you get everything like you want it.
Okay, so to finally get going here, Tim Cording is in the main event due to the provisional of Desiree qualifying for his position. On the front row this time we actually have Jessica Hergeson and Jordan Walker, and behind them is Luis Rodriguez and Tim Cording. You got Matthew Fastnot and Braden Hunt. The green light is off and we're racing here at Williams Grove Speedway. Looks like finally I might have got the streaming woes figured out. I'm sure there's still going to be moderate lag later on at the end of it, and we'll just cross that bridge when it comes. All my plans that I had previously had about following the points as they go live, that'll be a bit much for me to keep track of at the beginning here. Only 25 trucks and 150 laps here at Williams Grove. And way they're running right now, Jessica Hergeson would be looking to make up a bunch of points where she sits ninth. This position on track would net her 30 points, and that would put her total at 2,042. As we saw in the heat races here, the laps click off pretty quickly. And so you're going to want to be moving to the front before you know it, because it might be the end. Currently, I am at the rear of the field right now. We've got Maggie Reams and Tyler Aspinall right around the same spot. You got Aunt Me Person surprisingly running about 20th at the moment. But in the meantime, Avery Farrell's taking the lead, having won the last race out. He wants to try to go for two, get back-to-back wins in the USA trucks here. Matthew Fastnot having a good run, running second at the moment. John Brinker also with a solid run in third. Just like the Real Life Cup Series, if one of the title contenders is able to win the race, they'll lock their way right into the next round of the playoffs. Currently, Jessica Hergeson is the highest running contender for the championship. But how about that? Look at John Brinker up to second. Brinker, although not a contender, would like to spoil the party here and get his first career win in the USA Truck Series. Spotlighting that fancy new paint scheme of his, the Dr. Pepper with cream soda. Perhaps that new scheme will bring him some good luck here towards the end of the season. He'll be contending in the Sylvania Bush League next year. Gonna keep climbing that ladder for Jacob Shangle Racing. Nice thing about this dirt track race is it's going to be a sprint for sure. The one that hurt the hardest in all the heats and LCQ drama was Tristan Reams failing to make the main event. His 12th place in the points will likely transition over to an elimination at the next race. So Tristan Reams, I would likely say, is a must-win scenario next week in the cutoff race for the round of 12 going down to the round of 9. Trevor Walker at the moment sitting 21st on track. He's going to want to get some more points than where he's running in 21st. That's only worth 1 point. That'll keep him in 11th if all he can manage to gain is 1 point by the end of this race. In the meantime, John Brinker takes the lead from Avery Farrell to lead on lap 16 here. So showing some strength early on in the running at the racetrack here. Jack Ross is currently running P6, so this will give him a good opportunity to get out of 10th place in the point standings. As well as Jessica Hergeson, who started on the pole. Unfortunately, she's dropping backwards a little bit. She's back to 9th at the moment. That matches her point tally. She's 9th overall in the point standings in the playoffs here. Then you got Jordan Walker running 7th. Kellen Oakley, amazingly, he misses the main event here as well, so he's going to take a hard hit in the points, currently sitting 7th overall. Maggie Reams just barely made it, currently out there on track running in 13th. Tim Cording also was one that barely made it into the main here, currently running 9th on track. Then we had Guido Piano fail to make the main event here. He sits 4th in the points, so that's going to hurt. He might still be good with the buffer of points that he's got to stay within the top 9, though. And then your top 3 of Tim Hansen, Ant Me-Person, and Chaz Chadwick, all of which are in the main event here. Chadwick's already up to 3rd, tearing through the field. You got Al Bunch in 2nd there. Avery Farrell's dropped back to 4th at the moment. Chaz Chadwick's got the largest buffer amongst all the truck drivers. He's going to be able to lock himself in by pointing his way into the round of 9 early. Next week, you can only gain a max of 34 points, and he will have easily almost a 70 to 80 point advantage over the cutoff line. So Chadwick trying to make a move there on Bunch for 2nd. Al Bunch maintains 2nd place over Chadwick, but Chadwick's not going away. Currently your top 5 is comprised of a Ford, 2 Dodges, a Toyota, and then a Toyota or a Dodge based on who's in front of each other right there between Tim Hansen and Avery Farrell. John Brinker definitely being a surprise leading up front in this race. Chadwick's probably going to try to find a way around him here. A win would net Chadwick 10 more bonus points going into the next round of the playoffs. Once they make it to the final 3 at the end of the season, points don't matter, but all the point buffers they get will definitely help them in between the stages of the elimination. Looks like the tail end of the field right now, we got Ant Me Person running 25th, Tyler Aspinall in 24th, Braden Hunt, Luke West, Matias Nunez, Luis Rodriguez, Tayden Berggren, Trevor Walker, and Jessica Hergeson, Nathan Morgan, Craig Bush, Tim Cording, Jack Ross, Logan Nagy, Maggie Reams, and Matthew Fastnot, James King, Chris Hergeson, Jacob Schengle, Avery Farrell, Tim Hansen, Jordan Walker, as viewed in the camera shot right now, Chadwick losing position to Al Bunch, and John Brinker right there in the lead, but it looks like Al Bunch is going to try to take the lead here, having a good run on this session of the green flag run. 32 laps in so far, no cautions. I got by Avery Farrell there, so now I'm up to 6th. Myself in the NSSR series of offline NASCAR racing 2003. I am winless in 3 years of competition, so it'd be neat to see myself back in victory lane. Definitely a good run in 6th there. The Cup program has definitely been a head scratcher this year for Jacob Schengle Racing. And thank goodness, knock on wood, that the stream is actually cooperating for once. A few resets of the computer and giving the CPU a chance to reset and actually run smoothly is about all it needed, I think. Al Bunch is currently taking the lead from John Brinker. So it looks like Al Bunch is going to lead lap 38. This might come as a pleasant birthday surprise or birthday present for Al Bunch, who just had a birthday a couple days ago. In the Sylvania Cup Series earlier this year, my mom ended up winning a race the following week of her birthday, so it's happened at least once this year where in our 2003 game that the driver wins following their birthday. Chadwick's fallen back a little bit. He's fallen into the grasps of my truck. Looks like Chris Hergeson's going to get by me though, and perhaps fighting with Chadwick for 5th. This would be one of the tighter battles on track at the moment. Closing in on 1/3 of the way through the race here. And it's not looking like at least not in the top 2 for someone that'll lock their way into the next round of the playoffs. Jordan Walker and Tim Hansen doing really good, running 3rd and 4th. Chadwick doing as well as he's always done all year, running 5th. Cream rises to the top, as they usually say. We got Maggie Reams working her way into the top 10. Tim Cording just now cracked into 10th place. And it looks like John Brinker's going to get the lead back here. So solid racing at the front. We've had a lead change numerous times already. Of course, these two not fighting for a championship as they didn't make the cutoff. Last week's win was Avery Farrell, so that was a non-title contender winning the race. And perhaps like the way the Cup Series did their first round of the playoffs, maybe we'll see that in the trucks as well, where we might have 3 non-title contenders winning the races here. It's got to feel good for John Brinker, who's had a rough season and might actually have an opportunity for a good finish here tonight at Williams Grove. Tail end of the field, it looks like Tyler Aspinall's still back there. He's showing a lot of speed in his heat race. Evidently, once the main event come around, it's a little bit harder for him. And we got another swap for the lead here. Al Bunch taking it back. So the 08 and 78 fighting tooth and nail to lead this race here. Chris Hergeson up to 3rd. So that makes 3 non-title contenders holding the top 3 spots. Tim Hansen is your highest title contender, followed by Chadwick and Jordan Walker. Tim Hansen wants 3rd here. It looks like he's going to get it. You got Tim Cording working his way through the field, getting up to 7th at the moment. Soon to be 7th. Tim Hansen is going to try to get another spot here, it looks like. John Brinker on the outside, Tim Hansen on the inside. Tim Cording's all the way up to 6th, so that puts us at 3 title contenders pretty close towards the front here. Looks like Cording's going to get by Jordan Walker there. Now crack the top 5. Chris Hergeson there in the 04. He's going to blow by him as well. Tim Hansen can't seem to find a way around the 78 of John Brinker. Brinker's keeping momentum up on him. But perhaps looks like Tim Hansen's going to prevail here and get that second position. Still fighting on the outside, but finally it looks like Hansen might have the advantage here. Tim Cording's running just as hard behind the two of them. He's going to get by in short order on the 04 of Chris Hergeson. And 3 wide on the dirt track here. It's an unusual sight you don't see. All in the meantime, Al Bunch out front, just cruising in the lead. It seems that we got a little bit of movement from the rear end of the field. Tyler Aspinall's making some moves up to 22nd. Ant Meeperson up to 17th after being as far back as dead last. Jack Ross is holding serve in 12th. And likenesses of Chadwick here and Jordan Walker running in the top 10. And Tim Cording's already up to second here, so one of his wins came on the dirt earlier this year at Knoxville, and perhaps if he can get a second dirt win, it won't look like a fluke. It's crazy that he almost technically was out of the main event, but was able to use a provisional. And now fighting to take the win here. Luckily for John Brinker, he was able to find some clear track again and settled into third. But give the lead position to Tim Cording at the moment. If he's able to win the race here, he'll be locked in for sure for the round of 9. So we're going to start probably seeing the long run strategies come into play here. Drivers with a setup fashioned towards a green flag run with no cautions, you might start seeing move towards the front. Currently the fastest lap belongs to the 41 of James King. Second to that was John Brinker. And you had Craig Bush, Maggie Reams, and Logan Nagy as your top 5 fastest laps, their fastest lap turn. Doesn't always convert over to finishing results, but still shows that their equipment is fast enough. Once we hit lap 75, that'll be halfway through this 150 main event. Al Bunch there in second, probably ain't gonna want to settle for second place. Don't know if anyone will be terming at this, but we might have some reason to term at this. The miracle at Williams Grove for Tim Cording, having failed to make it out of the LCQ. His team truck, 55, ended up winning the LCQ, and with, some help from the 55, he's got the 50 truck looking just as good as that 55 did in the LCQ. So still, we're only halfway through the race at lap 75 there. There's a lot of racing left to go. Looks like Tyler Aspinall made up a couple more spots. He's up to 21st now. This will be a huge gamble, and it looks like it's going to pay off. Going into the playoffs, the number 50 was very adamant that the dirt tracks were his one weakness in the playoffs. Even though the one win came at a dirt track, he still felt that his dirt track program was suffering. So, enter Desiree Voiles for an opportunity to get some more intel on the dirt tracks and whatnot, and here we have it. He's out front leading at halfway. Williams Grove on the dirt track here. Al Bunch has got a fast truck there in second. He's just running right on his tail. John Brinker still holding on for top 5 at the moment. James King surprisingly showing some strength here in the late running of this one. And Al Bunch is going to take the lead back. Tyler Aspinall now up to 20th. Might want to keep an eye on him for a while, as it seems that he's finding spots on track to make good passes through the field. Like Chris Hergeson's going to try to get by Tim Cording here too. It's going to take him a couple tries here, but it looks like he's going to get it. and slot into second here shortly. Brinker wants to go back to the lead again where he once was. Gonna have to get through the 04 here and does so, putting himself back up to second. It looks like it's gonna be a battle between Brinker and Bunch again. Tim Hansen's your new third place driver as he cruises by Chris Ferguson. If any of y'all just tuning in at this point in the race, it's gone 88 laps, caution free. Our front row is definitely changed from what it started. Currently it's been dominated between the 08, the 78, the 50, and on lap 90 here we're actually going to get some green flag pit stops at the dirt track. So we'll see some shakeups here. It's likely going to be a lot of quick in and outs, not much for tires I'd imagine. Well, it looks like Brinker's going for a 4-tire pit stop. Now this will be the danger zone for these drivers that just pitted, coming back out on track where there's potential for a caution to trap them a lap down. They're gonna have to hope for some good luck here that there's no caution during these green flag pit stops. Looks like majority everyone has made their pit stop this time. I think this is about the perfect distance for pit stop to fall. It's not, not exactly halfway, but a little bit after halfway, so we know everyone can make it to the finish. And it's not like it 10 laps to go where it really messes up the entire run. This gives everyone an opportunity to race for any positions they might lose on the pit stop. So we'll have to see how things shake up here. It looks like Al Bunch is coming off now. Al Bunch is going to be able to maintain second or third. And John Brinker is going to be back to P1. So Brinker pitting a little bit earlier, it was able to give him advantage on the lead here. So it's Brinker P1, Bunch P2. Give Chadwick third at the moment, Cording fourth, and Chris Ferguson fifth. Jordan Walker, Tim Hansen, Avery Farrell, James King, and Matias Nunez, rounding out your top 10. About to hit the two-third mark here in the race at lap 100 of 150. And of all drivers to potentially win tonight, John Brinker would definitely be a surprise victor. This race will be just short of an hour lengthwise, so going to be one of the quicker truck races, except for the part that we had the heats and the LCQ to set the field. If you combined all that together, it'd be about normal length race all through. Chadwick here in his SpaceX paint scheme is going to be taking that truck to the moon if he could win the race here. Going to take second here from Al Bunch, but he's got a lot of ground to make up to catch John Brinker there in the lead. .50 laps to go now. And it's going to be the end of the race before we know it. Tail end of the field, we've got Luis Rodriguez, Maggie Reams, Jessica Hergeson, Taden Berggren, and Luke West, Logan Nagy, Tyler Aspinall, Matthew Fastnot fighting with Braden Hunt, Craig Bush, Trevor Walker, Nathan Morgan, Ant Meeperson, Matias Nunez, Avery Farrell, top 10 with the Jack Ross currently in 10th, Jacob Schengle in 9th, James King in 8th, Jordan Walker in 7th, Tim Hansen, Chris Hergeson, Tim Cording, and our top 3 have kind of caught each other as we've got Bunch, Chadwick, and Brinker. Last week's race at Pigsport Super Speedway, Meeperson and Chadwick dominated, and they just fell off to finish 2nd and 3rd. Chadwick here would love to get this win and get those bonus points into the round of 9. He could have almost secured bonus points last race at Pigsport, but failed to do so. Is it going to be a continuation, or perhaps he'll actually break through and get the win here? No matter how many laps go on, it seems like the rest of the field continues to stay pretty racy. You would think that there would be fall off, but even Al Bunch here looks like he's going to try to fight back for 2nd. And just when you think Chadwick's going to try to fight for the lead, he's going to lose his 2nd place position to Al Bunch here, falling him back to 3rd. I would not count out Al Bunch here, as he seems to have a fast truck here at Williams Grove. Tim Cording is going to get by Chadwick here for third. And Al Bunch is going to fight for the lead here. Perhaps the couple laps fresher tires are going to kick in for Al Bunch as he passes by John Brinker to take the lead with 38 laps to go here. Tyler Aspinall makes up another spot up to P18 at the moment. Tim Cording up to second, getting by John Brinker there. Definitely has been a back and forth affair at the front between Al Bunch and John Brinker. Regardless of where Tim Cording finishes here, it's still going to be much more improved than what he would have finished. Three laps to go. And Tim Cording might be trying to make another charge here at the lead. Tail end of the field, we got Maggie Reams, Hayden Berggren, Jessica Hergeson, Luis Rodriguez, Luke West, and Logan Nagy. The front of our field, we've got Al Bunch, Tim Cording, Chaz Chadwick, John Brinker, and Chris Hergeson. I'm up to 6 at the moment, and I'm about to crack into the top 5 for the first time today. Me and team truck of John Brinker racing for position at the moment. Perhaps I was saving up a little extra here to try and take the win. And Tim Cording is going to try to make, looks like he had to settle back there for a minute as he couldn't get quite the run on Al Bunch as he desired. Al Bunch definitely putting up a hard fight for the lead here to keep it. Looks like Tim Cording's going to get the lead here on lap 124. And if we thought this week's race or tonight's race was a pressure cooker for the playoff contenders, just wait till tomorrow when we go to bump draft and super speedway for 110 laps there. There's no telling who's gonna move on or get knocked out, as it is a elimination round at bump draft and super speedway. "24 laps to go now, and Tim Cording's settled into the lead. Al Bunch in second, Chadwick in third, Chris Hergeson in fourth, and it looks like Tim Hansen up to fifth as he gets by John Brinker, putting him into sixth. Al Bunch might be setting back here for a minute to try and build a one last run for the win here. Only 21 laps to go now. It's going to be over in an instant. Tyler Aspinall made up another spot, putting him into 17th on track. Looks like Matthew Fastnot made up some spots into 14th there. "20 laps to go, and Tim Cording's actually growing his lead a little bit more. With a win for Tim Cording, that would be our first driver locked in to the round of 9. And then our other locks will likely be amongst Chadwick and maybe even Ant Me Person on points. Tim Hansen's running well enough that he could still lock his way in on points one race early. We'll get the total tally at the conclusion of this race, and we'll know exactly a little bit more clear of the picture for the round of 9. With 15 laps to go, I think Al Bunch still has a shot at the win here. Seems that he's not given up all his equipment here in the closing laps. Perhaps with some drafting help with the 18 of Chadwick, he might be able to close in on Tim Cording here. Thank goodness for the main event that the live stream has been nearly flawless. Thanks for everyone tuning in as well. .53 seconds separate Al Bunch from Tim Cording here in the final 12 laps to remaining. Now down to .48, so it seems that Al Bunch is going to make one last charge for the win here. Perhaps he had a little bit extra in the tank, or maybe Tim Cording overused his stuff. Regardless, it looks like we're going to have a battle for the win here with 10 laps to go. This whole race has been brought to you caution free with a lot of lead changes, so it's been one decent race for passes and changes for the lead. Still, Al Bunch has to find an opportunity here to make a move for the win. It's going to have to present itself here in the closing laps as we only have 7 laps to go. The closest that he's been in multiple laps, mini laps here. Al Bunch is running right on his tail. If we have a caution in this last segment here, it'll put an end to any of this battle. So hopefully it goes green the rest of the way with no caution. We're going to get treated to one hell of a finish. There we go. Al Bunch has got the preferred inside line there on Tim Cording. As mentioned earlier in the broadcast, this would be a pleasant birthday present for Al Bunch, who just celebrated a birthday a couple days ago, and would continue a trend that my series has seen this year, where we had one driver do it previously. And it's Al Bunch to the lead with 4 laps to go. Tim Cording is gonna fall back to second here, and yeah, looks like he's gonna fight a little bit on the outside, but to no avail as Al Bunch slots his way into first. 3 laps to go. Tim Cording's gonna have to give it all he's got. Put some elbow grease into this last 3-lap run here at Williams Grove. Two laps to go here as they get past the start-finish line. Looks like the rear of our field, as shown on the stats screen there on the top right, Ant Me Person's going to be in 16th at the end of the day. Trevor Walker in 14th. Jack Ross in 10th. But the big story here is Al Bunch looking through turns 3 and turns 4, coming home. He's going to take the checkered flag here at Williams Grove. His first win in the USA Truck Series. Also a non-title contender to steal a win away from the title contenders here in the round of 12. Al Bunch is going to be delighted with this victory here. Just now coming out that he is in the Busch Light Series. He was Driver X under the alias, and it's been Al Bunch all along. And he comes home victorious in the Truck Series for the first time. We got treated to one hell of a race here. Last segment of the race, we got a lead change for the win. Not a last lap pass, but almost as good as a last lap pass for the win with 4 laps to go there. And so congratulations to Al Bunch on a successful victory here at Williams Grove Speedway. The rest of our field as follows was Tim Cording, Chaz Chadwick, Chris Hergeson, and Jordan Walker. Tim Hansen, James King, Jacob Shangle, John Brinker, and Jack Ross. Matthew Fastnot, Nathan Morgan, Craig Bush, Matias Nunez, and Trevor Walker. Surprisingly, Ant Meperson in 16th, Tyler Aspinall, Braden Hunt, Avery Farrell, Luke West, Luis Rodriguez, Taden Bergren, Logan Nagy, Jessica Hergeson, and Maggie Reams. Two of our title contenders there, finishing 24th and 25th. So through all the trials and tribulations, we got the race in with minimal lag, and another first-time winner in the USA Truck Series. So thank you everyone for tuning in. This was a spectacular race. Our dirt races never seem to fail to excite. We'll be excited to have more of those in 2023. So have a good one, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. This is Jakester signing out.